Well, welcome everybody. As always, we are going to begin by setting our seat. Our little idea today, or my concept for you today, is a little meditation for Ganesh, or a little practice for Ganesh, because it was his birthday yesterday. So Ganesh is, in his representation, his symbology, he is the elephant-headed god. So he has a human body, but he has an elephant head. He's the son of Shiva and Parvati. And what he really stands for in the most cosmic sense, he stands for a lot of things, but in the cosmic sense is he is this full awareness of both the masculine and feminine aspect of creation unified, right? So those are his parents, as the masculine and feminine divine unified. So he really stands for being in the state of that unification and being able to feel that and see that in all things. As Shiva's son, right? Shiva is the energy that is taking us into liberation, right? He's the energy that is the eternal equilibrium, the eternal auspiciousness. And he's the energy that we call on to dissolve whatever there is in us that stands in the way of that experience of being liberated, of being complete in that fullness. So Ganesh, as his son, is very similar, that he is an energy that you call on to understand your obstacles, the things that you struggle with, right? So that they can become opportunities for liberation and not something that is binding you, right? So that's the energy of Ganesh, and everything today is kind of geared towards that concept, right? So begin to find your seat. And I did ask you to have a little snack because Ganesh loves sweets. So our final little meditation is going to be a little bit of a food meditation. So you can think about that. Don't think about that while you're meditating, right? That you get a treat at the end. So comfortable seat. Start to feel yourself settling. Again, meditation, when we make it a practice, means that we are getting the mind used to a routine of settling in. So wherever it has gone today or wherever it has been, you're bringing it back home. So a seat that is comfortable, that is sustainable. And then begin to notice your breath. By noticing, that means that we're not adding any sort of judgment or category to what the breath is or is not doing. Can you notice the act of breathing? Just a way of bringing the awareness back to the inside world, the inner experience, and not the outer. Awareness of your breath rising and falling. Awareness of the heart as it beats, even though it beats without your conscious command. Awareness even of the flow of your blood. Movement of the organs. If you hear or feel any sensations, any sounds in your body, just notice them. Experience of being in a state where you are seeing how much goes on without your conscious control. How we begin to touch that eternal nature, that bigness. Beyond my ability to control and direct, there is so much to feel. And with the next breath in, repeat the sound of Om. Breath out, repeat the sound of Om. Using the mantra, breathing in the sound of Om. Breathing out the sound of Om. Om is the complete energy, beginning, middle, end, and the space in between. Often said that Ganesh comes with the sound of Om, the beginning of all things, manifestation of all things. Breathe in the sound of Om. Breathe out the sound of Om. Notice where the sound seems to come from inside. Is it welling up from somewhere deep, or does it feel like it's resonating beyond, outside of you? Is it like a wave? Experience the sound of Om, the vibration of Om. With your next exhale, release the mantra. Let the mind go wide into the silence. And we're moving into alternate nostril breathing. So if you're familiar with that, you don't even have to open your eyes. If you're not familiar, go ahead and open your eyes and I'll show what we're doing. But the right hand lifts up, makes a loose fist in front of the face. The elbow gets tired, the left hand can come up to support it. But you're curling in pointer and middle finger towards your palm, thumb, ring, and pinky extend. And then you're breathing in the breath. And then you're bringing your thumb to your right nostril, exhaling out through the left. Good. Inhale through the left nostril. Take the ring and pinky finger, close it off, exhale through the right. Good. Inhale through the right. Close off with the thumb, exhale through the left. And then inhaling through the left. Close off, exhale through the right, and you're continuing like that, alternating the breath. In your mind's eye, if you want to follow that breath as you breathe it in, that it spirals down the central channel of the spine. The exhale, it spirals back up the spine as it exits. Breath is to help balance those dualities within us, right and left, masculine, feminine, sun and moon. Shiva's followers, many of them, they're referred to as ganas, so they're like monsters, ghosts and vampires and things that are scary. Dregs of society, the ones that no one else wants, go straight to Shiva because he sees beyond the surface. He sees them for what they really are. So Ganesh, one of his names is he's the Lord of the Ganas. He's the first and foremost. The one that stands between you and the things that scare you, but that also liberate you. When we can see beyond the duality, I like it, I don't like it. We step closer to liberation. Spiral that breath up the spine, spiral that breath down the spine. exhale out through the right nostril. Release the hand down to your lap. Bring thumb and first finger of each hand to touch. Go into the wideness of your breath when you are no longer directing it. Where does it go? Thumb and first finger, mudra for wisdom, Jnana Mudra. Wisdom is not what I know intellectually. Wisdom is what I comprehend cosmically. Where does your mind and your breath go when you do not consciously direct it? Release the mudra. Place your palms flat down on your thighs. Feeling that sense of the heaviness of your seat, solidness of your seat. The breath is still moving easy, but your body becomes the container. And then as you are ready, let the eyes float open. So I have for you another mudra that we're going to play with, and we're going to come back to that alternate nostril breath, but we're going to do it mentally. So you're not going to be using your hands for it because your hands are going to be in a different mudra. So the mudra, it's called Nirvan Mudra, so similar to Nirvana. So it's that state of liberation, the emptiness and fullness that is the state where you're not attached to anything, you're not stuck with anything. So that's what the mudra is helping to move us towards, is that energy that brings us closer to the release of our small concept of ourselves to that liberated form. So what it looks like is if you cross your wrists and bring your palms together, it's a little tricky, right? So if you are trying to come palm to palm with your wrists crossed, and then you're interlacing, your lower three fingers, pointer fingers and thumbs are just pressing together. Okay, so your wrists are crossed, palms facing each other, not backs of the hands. Yep, that's the hardest part. And then pinky, ring, and middle fingers are interlaced. Yeah, you can sort of see thumb and pointer fingers together. And then just rest the elbows at the heart, right? So once you get the hands in that awkward position, then you're just relaxing. So this is the mudra. It's a spiraling mudra. So that same energy spiral is what's moving through this hand position, right? So then just let yourself rest here. Let the eyes begin to close again. Good. And just do your best. If just having your wrists crossed and hands palm to palm is what works, or fingertips fingertips together, that'll do it. The point is you want to spiral the arms. Let the eyes close. And then you're going to begin again to notice the breath. And begin to feel yourself inhaling through the right nostril and exhaling out through your left. And mentally inhaling through the left nostril, exhaling out through your right. Inhaling mentally through the right, exhaling out through the left. Inhaling mentally through the left, exhaling out through the right. So it's a little bit more subtle doing the practice mentally. But you've already set your mind with the sensation of what it's like to feel the breath moving in one nostril versus the other. So even if you're not sure that you're feeling it enough, stay with mentally. You are drawing the breath in one nostril, exhaling it out through the other. If you can bring that visual again, that every breath in is spiraling down the spine. Every breath out is spiraling up the spine. Maybe even that sense of spiraling goes beyond the tail and the top of the head. Maybe that spiraling energy continues. You can ride the breath all the way beyond the crown of the head. You can ride the breath beyond the tail. Arms are relaxed, so hold the mudra, but don't get tense. Breathe in one nostril, breathe out the other. The greatest moment in meditation is when you find your mind resisting. You don't run, you don't react. You breathe a little deeper and you let go. Welcome those moments that the mind gets distracted. Welcome those moments where you forget what breath you're on. This is Ganesh. Welcome those moments. Because those moments are what pull your attention deeper in. Spiral the breath down the spine. Spiral the breath up the spine. Rhonda, you don't have to cross the arms so much. Just the wrists need to cross, not the elbows. There you go. Palms together. Yep. Path of liberation is a spiral. It means you may encounter the same experience again and again and again and again. A little different every time. Welcome those moments. They have the power to pull you deeply in. Next time you exhale through the right nostril, release the mudra, release the breath. Let the hands come to rest on the lap. If you want to come back to thumb and first finger, you can. It feels better to have palms facing down on your lap. Let your mind go. Mudra is a seal. It holds an energetic power, energetic frequency. And when you release it, that frequency is let loose in you. Where do you go when you don't direct yourself? Connection again to the feel of your seat. Connection again to the sensation of breathing. And as you are ready, bringing your attention back to the external, open the eyes. The reminder is that meditation happens spontaneously. We sit to practice meditating, but the actual state of meditation is not something you make happen. It's something that does happen, right? It's something that you fall into or that you realize that you have fallen out of. So that meditation aspect is that whatever you do to help bring your energy into focus, to help bring yourself into that settled place, it's when you release your effort that something can really happen, right? So mudras are beautiful that when you release them, there's almost more power opportunity than when you're holding them, right? When you let go, when you release yourself from that binding, we call that liberation, right? So getting the mind to release from its habits, we call that meditation, right? It liberates itself. So interesting that when you end a practice, letting your mind simply go and seeing what experience arises. That's part of your meditation. Don't forget that part, right? So our last little thing that we're going to do is food. Hooray. So grab your snack. Whatever that happens to be. And then the way this works, many of you have probably done this before, is that you're going to take your snack, whatever your little snack is, and you're going to place it in your mouth. And this is a sensory experience, right? So you're not rushing to try to consume anything, right? You're taking the time to really experience through your senses. So even before you put your snack in your mouth, if you haven't done it already, take a look at it, right? What is it? What's pleasing about its shape or not pleasing? What's its color? What's its texture? If it has a smell, what does it smell like? Get in touch with that. And then mindfully, again, this is a mindfulness experience, you place that snack in your mouth and you let it sit. No chewing. Let it sit. And try not to immediately go to consuming. Let it sit. You're taking in the texture. You're taking in the slow release of the tastes. Taking in every detail. Bring your mind solely on the slow dissolving or the slow experience of that treat becoming one with you. You can bring in that slow chewing once you have really given your mouth an opportunity to feel and taste. Mindful, how slowly can you savor this experience? Ganesh, symbolically, it says that he loves sweets, the sweetness of life. Sukha, the word for it in Sanskrit is sukha. The opposite of sukha is dukkha, discomfort. So how do you internalize the sweetness? How do you internalize even your discomfort? And can you find the sweet in every experience? That if you slow down and really let yourself feel the wholeness of whatever is happening, you will find that there's a sweetness. This is Ganesh. When you can't take it anymore, go ahead and finish chewing. Swallow your treat if you haven't already. And notice that the mind becomes satiated when you give it a full experiential moment. We say that the mind is always in that state of craving because it never gets to feel a moment for what it fully is. It's always looking for what it thinks is missing. There's stories of Ganesh, right, being the one that devours everything because he's craving sweets, and that's our mind, it's craving. But if we slow down, we give it a full experience, the mind will be satiated, and then it will relax. And in that relaxed state, meditation happens. And in that relaxed state, liberation happens. So celebrate Ganesh by being fully present, fully mindful of every experience. Good. Bring the hands together in front of the heart center, please. Bowing to your own heart, into the energy within that is eternally in that state of sweetness, that is eternally in that state of knowing that all duality merges into one. You're already there. And every obstacle is just a moment to celebrate, to pull you in deeper. Close the sound of Om, deep breath. Bring the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Well,
Thank you, Veronica.
You are welcome. Hope that was fun for you, the little treat.
It was.
Yeah, if you rushed it, try it again. You know, try it again with different things. Like raisins are used often in mindfulness to do that practice because it actually will change texture the longer it's in your mouth, right? The raisin reconstitutes. So